Hey guys, sorry I couldn't be here today, and you're stuck with virtual, Mr. Coach. Um, but the beautiful thing is, we aren't going to go over something that's so difficult that we can't do. It's something we've been actually working on the last couple of days, and it's the reason I put so much emphasis on completing the square. Even though it's an Algebra 2 or an Algebra 1 concept, okay, completing the square is necessary to help us find the standard form of a circle when we're given our general form. Because if you look at our standard form of a circle equation, x minus h squared and y minus k squared equals r squared, we have two square binomials in our equation. So x minus h squared and y minus k squared are both square binomials. So we're going to complete the square twice to go from general form to standard form. All right, so we're going to practice completing the square first. Okay, so if we look at number one, we've got x squared minus 10x plus 54. So we're going to complete the square to help us solve this problem. First thing we want to do, we want to get 54 out of there. We're going to move 54 to the other side. So that gives us x squared minus 10x plus blank equals negative 54 plus blank. Okay, so this looks great because it's going to give us a negative number, which we obviously love so much. Thank you, worksheet. But let's see what happens. All right, so we're going to complete the square on the right. So what two numbers multiply to give me? We're going to b over 2 squared, right? So b over 2 squared. So negative 10 over 2, which is negative 5. And negative 5 squared is 25. All right, so we're putting 25 in both. All right, 25 in both. All right, obviously it's going to give us a negative number on the right. I'm not so focused on that right now. We'll address it, but it's not that big of a deal. Okay, so we're going to factor now. We want to factor our perfect square trinomial on the left side of our equation. So we get x minus 5 squared equals negative 54 plus 25. Little quick computation gives us negative 29. Okay. We would now, and if we were solving this, we'd do the square root of both sides. And our answer would be, okay, we're not actually going to solve it all the way because it's an I, and I don't want to confuse you too bad. But our answer would be x equals 5 plus or minus I rad 29. Okay. All I'm really worried about, though, because we're not going to be solving stuff today, right? We're only going to be taking our completed square. So we're basically going to stop it at that step. That's x minus 5. We're going to put the brakes on right there. Okay? So here we go. Write the standard form of the equation for a circle and then state the center and the radius. You ready? So our first step is to get our like terms together. All right, so I want to put my x's with my x's, my y's with my y's, and I want to put any constant that exists, I want to kick it to the other side. So I'm going to move 7 over, and then I'm going to rewrite my problem where x squared is next to negative 8x, because that's going to be a completed square. And then y squared doesn't have a friend, so he doesn't get to complete the square today. It's negative 7. All right, now we're going to complete the square. Okay, so remember, and sometimes we'll do this twice. Sometimes we'll do this once. So negative 8 over 2 squared. So that's negative 4 squared, which gives me 16. So I know I add 16 to this side. And because it's in math, I can't just add something to one side. I've also got to add it to the other. So plus 16 to the other side. So here we go. We're getting there. Okay, I'm going to factor that trinomial now. So what two numbers multiply to give me 16, add to give me -8? It should be a perfect square binomial if I did my math right. Y squared doesn't have any way to factor with. And then -7 plus 16 is 9. So boom, I went from one form to the other by just completing the square. Now, notice we're not solving, we're not doing all that extra I stuff up top. That was just, I guess it was trying to have fun with us. But we can see, so our center, make sure I'm not writing in highlighter, our center is +4, 0, and our radius is 3. Now, let's go down here to number 4. Because number 4, well, let's do number 2, because number 2 is a little funky. All right, so remember, I cannot complete the square when I've got a coefficient. And this time I got a double coefficient. So I got a 2 in front of each one. So I'm going to divide everything by 2 so I can clear that coefficient out of there. So 2, 2, 2, thanks for playing, see you later. Okay, that gives me, and then I'm going to rewrite my equation with my x's with my x's, my y's with my y's, and I'm also going to subtract this 10 from both sides. It's a 10 now because it's 20 divided by 2. So x squared, 2 divided by 2, minus 8x. Okay, going to parentheses, I'm going to drop my blank in there. Plus, okay, y squared plus 2y, don't forget your parentheses, going to drop my blank in there, equals -10. And remember, what I do to one side, I got to do the other. So I've got a blank for my x and a blank for my y. So this is my x squared. That's my y completed the square. So that could get a little confusing, right? So why, well, Mr. Coach, why do we got 2? Okay, just remember, what I do to one side of my equation, I've also got to do to the other. So I'm going to complete the square twice, and I'm going to factor that, but when I add my number here, it's also got to go there. And when I add my number here, it's also got to go there. So just remember, guys, if I add it to the left, I got to add it to the right because I want to keep my equation balanced. So now we're going to complete the square twice. All right, so for this one, remember it's b over 2, so -8 over 2 squared, which is -4 squared, which equals 16. So I can write a 16 right there in that box and a 16 in that box. I'm going to go a different color just so we can make sure we're not getting too wild and crazy. Okay, so now we're going to do for the y. So it's 2 over 2, so it's b over 2, 2 over 2 squared, 2 over 2 is 1, and 1 squared is 1. So 1 goes in that box, also in that box. There we go. So now we've completed the square twice. We had to clear that 2 coefficient. All right, now we're just going to do the math. We're going to factor 2 binomials. So it's x minus 4 squared plus, all right, y plus 1 squared equals -10 plus 16 plus 1 is 7. Okay? And then boom, there is our completed, there's our standard form. Please don't crash, please don't crash. Okay, sorry guys. It crashed like 15 times on me this morning when I accidentally hit that button. Okay, so our center is 4, -1, because remember, it's opposite because it lies to us. And then our radius, because this is radius squared, I'm going to take, and it's going to be the square root of 7. Okay, so that's completing the square twice. I will post those other 2 completed as well, but I just wanted to work through those 2 together. Now let's go to the next page. Now it wants us to write the general form of our circle. All right. So now we're in standard. We want to go to general. So basically, we want to expand both binomials. Okay. We want to expand both binomials and set equal to 0. Okay? So first things first, let's expand these binomials. Remember, we're not distributing a power. Okay? That's not how this works. In reality, there are two x minus 4s. So I got x minus 4 times x minus 4 plus, I'm going to do it in a different color, there are two y plus 3s. Y plus 3, y plus 3. And then, of course, that little equals 36 is out there. We'll use him towards the end. Okay, so here we go. We're going to FOIL both binomials. Oh, please don't crash. Okay, so remember, it's first, outside, inside, last. So x times x is x squared minus 4x minus 4x plus 16. Okay, first, outside, inside, last. Okay, let's do it again. So first, y times y is y squared. Outside, y times positive 3, so plus 3y. Inside, 3 times y, which is 3y. And last, which is 3 times 3, which is 9. And of course, that equals 36. So now we're going to combine like terms. I've got two x's and I got two y's. So I get x minus 8x, x squared, sorry guys, plus 16 plus y squared plus 6y plus 9. And of course that equals 36. Now we want to start kind of putting everything together. So we want to go our quadratic terms first, then our linear terms, then our constant terms. Okay, we're going to move 36 over because our equation needs to be set equal to 0. Right? And we're going to write it in order: quadratic, alphabetical, linear, alphabetical, constant. So I got x squared plus y squared minus 8x plus 6y, and then 16 plus 9 is 25. 25 minus 36 is negative 11 equals 0. So remember, quadratics go first, then our linear terms, and then our constant terms. All right, quadratic, linear, constant, and it is in alphabetical order. Boom, bang, bong. All right, guys, so that's all for today. Please work diligently on your My Math Lab. No Fortnite Mobile. Y'all have a great day.